James Joseph Brown Jr. was born on May 3, 1933, in Barnwell, South Carolina. He grew up in extreme poverty during the Great Depression in a small shack in the rural South. His parents, Joseph Gardner Brown and Susie Brown, separated when he was young, and his mother left him to be raised by his father, who worked as a turpentine farmer. As a child, Brown moved to Augusta, Georgia, where he lived with his aunt in a brothel. Brown's early years were marked by hardship. He shined shoes, washed cars, and even danced on the streets to earn money. Despite his difficult circumstances, he found solace in music, particularly gospel and rhythm and blues. His first experience with performance came through church singing, which deeply influenced his later musical style. However, Brown's troubled youth led him into crime. At the age of 16, he was arrested for stealing a car and sentenced to 3 years in a juvenile detention center. While incarcerated, he formed a gospel quartet, which laid the foundation for his future career. After his release in 1952, he worked various odd jobs, including as a boxer and a baseball pitcher, but music remained his passion. The rise to fame with the Famous Flames, 1953 to 1960. Brown's musical career officially began in the early 1950s when he joined Bobby Byrd's gospel group, the Gospel Starlighters. Over time, they transitioned into an R&B group, eventually becoming the Famous Flames. Brown's intense stage presence, energetic dancing, and powerful voice set him apart. In 1956, they recorded Please, Please, Please with Federal Records. The song became a surprise hit, selling over 1 million copies and reaching number 6 on the R&B charts. However, their subsequent singles struggled, and Brown faced challenges convincing record executives of his potential. His persistence paid off with the release of Try Me in 1958, which topped the R&B charts. Throughout the late 1950s and early 1960s, Brown and the Famous Flames gained popularity, known for their electrifying live performances. His influence on soul and funk music began to take shape during this period. The birth of the Godfather of Soul, 1960 to 1970. Brown's defining moment came with his 1962 live album Live at the Apollo. The album, recorded at Harlem's Apollo Theater, captured the energy and excitement of his performances. It became a commercial and critical success, reaching number 2 on the pop album charts, an extraordinary achievement for an R&B artist at the time. During the 1960s, Brown released a string of hits that showcased his evolving sound, blending gospel, blues, and rhythm and blues into what became known as soul music. Songs like Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, 1965, I Got You, I Feel Good, 1965, and It's a Man's World, 1966, solidified his status as a major star. Brown's music was revolutionary, introducing elements that would later define funk. His tight, syncopated rhythms, driving bass lines, and explosive horn sections became his signature. His control over his band, the James Brown Review, was legendary. He fined musicians for mistakes and demanded perfection. Beyond music, Brown became a symbol of black empowerment. His song Say It Loud I'm Black and I'm Proud, 1968, became an anthem during the civil rights movement. At a time of racial tension in the U.S., Brown used his platform to promote self-reliance and pride within the African American community. The Funk Revolution and Personal Struggles, 1970 to 1980. As the 1970s began, Brown transitioned fully into funk music. Albums like Sex Machine, 1970, and The Payback, 1973, showcased his new style, heavily influencing later artists in hip-hop and R&B. His rhythmic innovations and raw energy were embraced by a younger generation. However, despite his success, Brown faced personal and financial troubles. His excessive spending, tax issues, and disputes with band members led to instability. By the late 1970s, his commercial appeal declined due to changing musical trends and the rise of disco. Decline and legal troubles, 1980 to 1990s. Brown attempted to adapt to the new musical landscape, but his influence waned. His 1985 hit Living in America, from Rocky IV, temporarily revived his career, but he struggled to maintain relevance in the industry. His personal life also spiraled. He faced numerous legal issues, including domestic violence allegations. In 1988, Brown was arrested after leading police on a high-speed chase while under the influence of drugs. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison but was released in 1991 after serving 3 years. Legacy in later years, 1990s to 2006. Despite his struggles, Brown remained a respected figure in music. He continued to perform throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, often appearing at major events. He influenced generations of artists, from Michael Jackson to Prince and later hip-hop musicians who sampled his work extensively. In 2003, Brown received a Kennedy Center honor, recognizing his contributions to American culture. However, his health declined due to diabetes and prostate cancer. James Brown passed away on December 25, 2006, at the age of 73 from congestive heart failure. Impact and legacy. James Brown's influence on music is immeasurable. He pioneered soul and funk, laying the groundwork for hip-hop, R&B, and modern pop music. His tireless work ethic, iconic performances, and revolutionary sound earned him the title the Godfather of Soul. His impact extends beyond music. His messages of Black pride and empowerment made him a cultural icon. Despite his controversies, Brown's musical genius remains unmatched, and his legacy continues to inspire artists worldwide.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.